Hello everybody of the Let's Play community, I'm the Blind Swordsman, and welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy. Last episode we grew up, I think. The last episode that's what we did. In this episode I am going the wrong freaking way, I believe. Actually we might, I don't know where I'm going. Oh yeah, we are going here to start this episode off. Because we're at Gaia, and there's a couple things that we can get here. I went ahead and got a few things there, and now I leave. Now, actually, I don't think we have done anything like that, so I spoiled a couple things. I apologize. I think I'm trying to find a place to land. It's right here. Okay, yeah, so we haven't done anything like that yet. We're gonna go to, like, technically 3 dungeons in this episode. We're gonna get a lot done. And actually, I have recorded and edited all the rest of the parts. So there's going to be 7 parts. We have 3 more parts left, not including this one. So we'll have episode 5 next, 6, and then 7. And that'll be good because, yeah, this LP wasn't that long, and that's really good. It took me about, like, I think, like, 15-ish hours to beat this game. So game's not that long. Game's actually pretty easy to beat. So we got some new enemies we're going to be taking on in this area and things like that. So whoa, flipping fly is flying around bugging the crap out of me, man. But I am in such good mood. I am in a very good mood. So I'm ready to do this episode with you guys. So yeah, we haven't done. What we're trying to do is we're going to grow up a little bit. That's what we're going to do in this episode. And so, yeah. First thing is what we need to do is we need to do this trial business. Which, this dungeon, I'm not going to lie, the next couple dungeons, and even the last dungeon, besides the final boss, are not difficult at all. Like, for real. We're at a good enough space. We're ready to do this. It's going to be amazing. It's just not, like, I don't feel like, that's the thing is, I know where to go, so you can look up guides, but even still, I don't find Final Fantasy 1 that difficult of a game if you do your grinding. Like, if you grind up and you do, like, everything you can to be, like, super powerful, you know, then I think this game is not that difficult. Like, I really do. I think this game is one of the easier games probably in the series, just if you do your grinding first and you do your research first. But that being said, I mean, I'm playing one of the better versions of the game, and I would recommend that you do play the better versions of the game, the newer versions. You could even play the PlayStation version, you could play the PSP version, things like that. I personally think I played like 3 of them. I have not played the PSP version. I should probably try it out at some point. But this version of the game, to me, out of the versions I played, is the best. Flat out the best. Like, so, the auto battles, and I can't believe I kept this in here. But that's okay. That's okay. We'll talk about it a little. We'll talk about some stuff a little bit while I'm waiting to figure out where to go. Because I'm figuring out, because what I'm doing is I'm probably figuring out which one of these I need to walk through. But, I think because you have the run button, and I think they made the beautiful 60 frames per second, also combined with the auto battle is fast. Like, it's like, you know, in certain cases, like, there are going to be enemies coming up that are super powerful, that because I'm more powerful and I have one guy who's amazing and will just slice your face off, is ridiculous. And it takes like 2 seconds. I mean, like, literally right here, I'm not even worried about these guys because I have so much health and I have so many things going for me right now that it's just insane. Like, it's so insane. And, like, look, man, I think this game is a great game. Like, I really do. I like the story a lot. I think it's one of the more underrated stories in Final Fantasy. The music is way good. Like, I'm surprised that the remix did so well with this game because I don't really feel like, because I'm not a big fan of 8-bit music unless it's like Retro Bowls music or something, which, be prepared, because I'm going to try to get ready to do, I think I am going to do all the Pixel remasters and try to do them this year. Let's plays of them. I'm going to do the first 3 post commentary, so I want to get some footage up, but in the meantime, like, I want to get an LP going. So I'm thinking after I get paid, there is a Switch version of Retro Bowl, and I'm thinking about doing that version next to replace this LP, so that we can move on. And everybody's like, well, what about the other LPs? Well, I thought about it, and it's like, I want to get back to those games when I feel like playing them. You know, because I feel like playing Odyssey, I feel like playing Final Fantasy, and I feel like playing Retro Bowl, and I feel like playing Metroid. You know what I mean? So, like, I will get back to those when I want to get back to them. Because, like, I don't feel like... Because here's the thing. With me working at home, I don't feel pressured to necessarily finish an LP. Like, I gotta do it super quick now. Oh. You know, I could take my time. That's the best thing, is I can take my time with stuff like that, which is fantastic, you know. If I want to play a different game, I can go play a different game like this and enjoy myself and enjoy making videos instead of boring the heck out of myself, you know what I mean? It's just one of those things, you know. But yeah, they have gaze, which gaze can actually kill you in one hit, I believe, which is scary as heck. So yeah. But we're actually getting close to the end of this place. Like I said, this place is not that long, nor is it that difficult. Like, look at this. We got a dragon zombie, and I just murdered him. Like, he got murdered, dude. And I think we have, 2 nightmares. Yeah, these are not hard. Like, they come up later in the game as supposed to be harder enemies, and they're not at all. Like, they have Snort, which can blind you, but luckily he picked the wrong guy. I think Snort and blind are bugged unless you're using magic, so it doesn't really matter. I don't know if it changes from game to game, because I would think they would fix the programming a little bit. But the reason why I did ninja over the other guy is because the other guy has such bad stat stuff, because he's a victim to the bad programming that was the original Final Fantasy, which is why I picked the ninja over him. But I feel stupid because I think at this level, or when we actually go to get the upgrade for them, he actually is better when you take his equipment off for his attack. Like, I struggled a little bit with the final boss, and you'll see it when we get there, that I died once to the final boss, which is the only death I've had in this LP. But it was because I literally feel like it was because I did not take the nunchucks off butts. Like, honestly, that's all it was. And, which is fine, but, like, you know, it's just certain things that I don't remember about the game. Like, I do remember playing it with this party, and this was the party I started with a long time ago, and I think I still have that save file on my Wii U for Final Fantasy. But I remember vividly taking off his equipment, and he was a better attacker. Like, it was kind of insane how much better of an attacker he was. And it could have been the I could have played the PlayStation version too. The PlayStation version is insanely good. The PlayStation version is so good. But we have gotten the rat's tail, and so that's good. I went the wrong way, and we've already fought that enemy, so I went back here. And now we're going to leave and go somewhere else, which is pretty freaking nice. This next thing we're going to be getting, which I kind of spoiled it in the beginning, we're basically going to grow up and get a class change, which the class change really drastically makes your stats so much better. Like, it just makes your stats insanely better. So I went back to the ship. Again, I just don't feel like I have to go, like, show going back to these things, because I've already shown once. This is how you get to a place. And so, yeah, so we're going to be heading into a couple of these areas. Like, we're going to go into this area. Now, this is a dungeon technically, but there's no random encounters, so you should be fine. And right here, I went way into the wrong hole. But you want to, if you don't really know what to do, you can always just fly into each hole like I'm doing, or you can talk to the dragons and see where you need to go. But again, I just decided to do this. I just decided to go around and figure it out by myself, because it's not like, it's not rocket science, but you have to figure out. So I'm like, okay, where do I go? Because yeah, I was trying to figure out which hole to go into, but you know, I don't know, man. Like, Figuring out which hole to go into in Final Fantasy, again, is not entirely rocket science, and I was kind of overthinking it a little bit. But it's my first playthrough. Like, your first playthrough of a game that you've never beaten before like this, like, you're going to double check and question some stuff. You know, because I've never beaten this game. I don't know what happens up until, like, you know, a couple days ago, you know. Now I know what happens with everything, but, you know. Oh my goodness, will you move the freaking camera so we can have some action at least? Like, thank you, dude. And I'm just like, hey, I don't know which one to go to. So, and again, I'm not getting every treasure because I don't feel like it's necessary in this game. Like, really, a lot of the items that you get are equipment that I get all the equipment for for Dallin and stuff, but I never get equipment for but like all the other stuff that you could get in the game, you could buy it, and it's easy to buy because you constantly have to grind for experience. But as you can see, this long hallway reaches us down here, makes us go down a little further, and we can go through this door, which is led to a cool room. I actually really like this room. It's actually pretty sick. But we go to here, and long before the men of courage stood before, has it been before men of courage stood before me? Terra is a girl, sir? That still you carry is fitting token of your courage and strength. So be it. I shall honor you with new titles. Yes, basically what he's going to do is he's going to give us new titles, which I'll tell you what those are in a minute once we actually get this. So I think we were kids because now we're freaking adults now. And I gotta say, I love the ninja's outfit on this. He looks like he's freaking ready to go to the disco. It's pretty funny. But what we've changed to now is we have the knight, we have the master, the white wizard, and the black wizard. That's what you change to. So you just basically, you upgrade your stuff. So your stats double, I believe, in certain cases with this. So now we're going to head out and we're going to go to a new place. I think we're going to go to the next dungeon in the game. That's what it looks like here. We want to head to the volcano that's over here down here. And we're going to do this dungeon here in this episode. And I think this is the last dungeon we're going to be looking at in this entire video. But what we're going to do is we're going to try to unlock the new crystal. And I got to tell you, the dungeon is pretty decent. I don't think it's that difficult. I didn't even grind that far. Like, I don't feel like literally the rest of the game, I don't do any grinding. No grinding session for anything at all. Like, this is it. We're just gonna basically naturally level up. And this doesn't bother me. I know Clement in his video talked about this, but he doesn't like it that you have to take hits in these dungeons. And I'm just like, dude, I got like thousands of potions and all this other stuff. I don't care if I friggin' take hits. Like, it doesn't matter to me. It never really has playing this game, even though I have never gotten that far. Like, it didn't bother me at all the first time I actually played this, so it doesn't matter. I think you're gonna take more damage from fighting folks instead of you walking around and going on the lava, you know. I mean, it hurts, don't get me wrong, but like, I just don't find it that big of a deal. I think people find it more big of a deal because maybe he was complaining because of the because it was the NES version, and maybe you know what I mean. Like, the NES version to me has not aged well at all. This version of the game, though, I think really is one of the better games in the series, like one of the better versions of the game in the series. So yeah, not one of the better games in the series. Well, I guess you could say that. I would put this probably top 7 for me, personally, of Final Fantasy games. But I don't know. I don't have like a top 10 like Final Fantasy really, because I don't think I've really played and beat. This is the 3rd game I've beaten in the series. Yes, I've beaten Final Fantasy this game over Final Fantasy 6 and 9. But yeah, I think at some point we'll have to crank out the other Final Fantasy games after I get done with beating all the pixel remasters. Like 7, I need to play 7. I love 7. I love 9. I'm not a fan of 8 that much, but hey, I have it. I do own a disc copy, and so a funny story about Final Fantasy IX I actually have as we're going through this dungeon. So I bought Final Fantasy IX like a long time ago. I think it was back in like 2013, 2014, maybe even 2012. I don't know. But anyway, I bought this game because I got a ton of Amazon money because my grandparents spoiled me. Fortunately, that grandma is gone. She was the one that died of COVID, if you remember from my Mario Galaxy LP. And so I bought all the Final Fantasy games. Like, I bought most of the Final Fantasy games. I bought like the PlayStation versions of 5 and 6, and I got a lot of them new. The only one I didn't really get new was 7, and that, like, I wanted to have a physical copy of 7 anyways. It doesn't matter, but it's broken. I can't even play it. I've tried playing it on a new PlayStation 3, and it doesn't work. But anyway, and I have 7 now on the Switch, and I have 7 on the computer and all that, so I could play 7 basically whenever I want. I don't want to I don't know if I want to try the new one. I have the ability to get the new Final Fantasy 7 because it's now on PC, but I really doubt that I'll try it. Anyway, the story goes, I bought Final Fantasy 9 new. I still have it today. I still have it. It's very pristine and really nice. So I bought it, and I had to return Final Fantasy 9. You want to know why? And it was brand new. 100% brand new. It's the green edition, so it costs less money, which I just wanted the games to play them. Like, I don't understand people just buying games to not play them. Like, certain cases, like, I have a Shiminami Tensei game, Shiminami Tensei 4 game that had all the artwork and stuff, and I've played it. I just haven't really touched the artwork and stuff. Like, I keep that safe because that does, like, add value to the game and stuff. But I opened it up, and the 3rd disc was missing, and you need all 4 discs. Like, 7 only needed 3 discs out of the 4. Like, the 4th one was just like an extra disc or something for, like, the music and stuff in the game you can listen to. But 8, 9, and then 10 was PlayStation 2. But 8 and 9 had to require all 4 discs, and I was missing one. And so what I had to do was I had to return it and get a new one. And I did. And it's just funny because it's like, how in the world, if it's new, how do you make a packaging mistake like that? I mean, it's just weird, dude. Like, it's the legit PlayStation version of the game. And I wanted to maybe sell the game, but they even said, like, without the 3rd disc, it's basically worthless. It's worth maybe like $10, which is pretty crazy. But yeah, that's probably the craziest story I've had of not just Final Fantasy, but in gaming in general, but Final Fantasy mostly. But man, I love 9. I love 9. One day we will do that at some point. It's one of the better games in the series, and I like it more than 8. I wasn't really a fan. I'm still not really a fan of 8. Like, I have to be honest. I probably like this game better than I like Final Fantasy 8. Like, this game, I don't know, like, there's just something about it that I like. Like, there's a lot going for it. Yeah, it has some mistakes, but, like, if you play, like, the Pixel Remaster instead, or if you play, like, the newer versions of the game, it's not a big deal. Like, it's actually, like, a super fun time. And I've heard, again, like I said, I've heard the PlayStation version really kind of breaks, the PlayStation Portable version of this game breaks the difficulty in half, but I think even this version of the game breaks the difficulty in half. Like, I don't find this version of the game at least, to be that hard. I think the hardest version of the game is definitely the first version that came out, which was the NES version. And that was the thing. You had to make those games difficult. But not only was it difficult, it was a longer game. Like, that's the thing. Like, you didn't see 14-hour games back in the day. You didn't see, like, these long games. And I remember getting the Super Nintendo, because my first console experiences were the NES. Like, 100% it was the NES. And I remember those games being super short. Like, we even played Game Boy games back in the day. Like, the original Game Boy games. like Elevator Action, which I'll probably have to do a Let's Play at some point. Maybe I'll even do that before I do Retro Bowl. Like Bubble Bobble was on the Game Boy. There was a couple of great games on the Game Boy. Like Elevator Action is pretty underrated. I don't think anybody's really looked at that game. I haven't seen Let's Plays of that game. I probably need to look that up. But I like Elevator Action a lot. But those games, we beat those games in like a day. You know what I mean? We could beat those games in a day. But like when you play oh, what game is it? Oh, what game? When you play like Final Fantasy or Dragon Warrior, like those games got significantly longer. Like even The Legend of Zelda, which was a like pioneer of video games, like was significantly shorter. Like I found after watching videos and stuff, because I didn't really have the experiences with Final Fantasy I have now. 7 was the first game I played, and then it was Tactics, which I may do a Let's Play of that at some point. I don't know, because I'm not like a tactical RPG guy. Like I'm kind of excited for the Advanced Wars remake to come out on the Switch, which I don't know when that will come out just because of the world events that are happening right now. Because they even said like the reason why we haven't released it yet is because of the world events that are happening. But yeah, like I love like how long the games got. Like from the NES to the Super Nintendo, like are you kidding me? Like Mario was significantly shorter. Like we beat Mario Bros. My mom beat Mario Bros 3 when she was pregnant with me, and she said it didn't take her that long. But then you play games like Mario World that came out just probably like a year later in the United States, and you play games like Yoshi's Island and things like that are significantly better looking with graphics and are longer. Like they're longer games, and they're probably for all intents and purposes, except I like Mario Bros 3 probably better than Super Mario World. That's just my opinion. I think there's been a debate for years which is the better games out of the two, but I think Mario Brothers 3 for me anyway, just because like I sat on the train one day when I was recording the review footage for it like a long time ago, and I was just on the train recording it because I don't know, because I thought that like I remember when I had surgery in 2016 because I broke my wrist, and like I broke my wrist, and then no, that couldn't have been a thing. I think I was just on the train and I was like, let's record this while I'm on the train. I got off early for something, but nobody was on the train. It was just me and Mario, and it was a fun time. Like I really enjoyed playing Mario Bros 3, and I was like, dude, like this game is so much better, like musically and like graphically to me. Like when you put the Super Nintendo games together, I think is just more colorful and it kind of appeals to me more. But yeah, if you like Mario World better, I totally get it. But yeah, there's just, I don't know, and that was like the funnest LP I remember doing when I did the Mario All-Stars Marathon. Like it really was, you know. But I think the best Mario game that's platforming, because the best Mario game to me is Super Mario RPG. There's just not a better Mario game to me, and that's fine. If you like other games, that's fine. I like RPGs, and so it was one of the first RPGs I played, and it was a lot of fun. But as I got older, that's when it got way fun for me. But Mario Galaxy, I think, is the best platforming Mario game, because even if you can compare it to Mario Bros 3 or Mario World, like it's just a better game. Like it's just a better game. Like I think collecting the stars is a lot more fun than it is in Mario 64, although I will say Mario 64 is probably my second favorite 3D game of all time. Not just because of nostalgia, like I just like the game. Like I think it's a perfectly made Mario game. And I think the problem with people is it didn't age well. I think the aged well argument is stupid. The aged well argument basically means that either you don't like the game for certain reasons, which is perfectly fine, or you've never really played it before and you've kind of seen footage of it and you're like, oh, it's overrated and all this other stuff. You know what I mean? So that's just what I think about it. But, you know, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. But now we're getting to the boss here. And the boss, like I said, like, come on, man. The boss in this place is super easy. All we're going to do is walk up to this crystal, this orb. Because you get orbs in the first Final Fantasy. I'm glad they kind of left this in. But then you collect the crystal instead of the orb because the orb is kind of stupid. But this is Lilith, I think. She's probably the coolest boss design in the game. I love the boss designs in this game. They're so freaking cool. But I'm deciding to just heal. I'm getting everybody set up. Because what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to get my best hitters hasted, and which gives you more attack power. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to throw ice at her. Or thunder or something. I'm just going to throw a ton of stuff at her. This boss fight is so freaking easy. Honestly. Like, you're going to see it just get wrecked. And I don't know why. Oh, I think I did it twice because you can stack it twice on it. And again, this is me being an idiot. Right now, we could literally have the ninja, like, wrecking havoc. Unfortunately, though, I can't do that because I didn't take his stupid nunchucks off. Yeah, anyway, what I'm doing now is I'm just auto-battling, and this boss is going down pretty quick. Like, it's literally the easiest boss. But, like, these bosses are easy. That's the thing. And she did dark, which the problem is, I don't know if there's some programming weirdness, because it seems like they only attack, like, the percentage of them attacking the top of my party, like the top two where Dallin and Butts are, is like significantly higher, it feels like, than any other spot that they attack. But we defeated the boss, and now we'll be able to move on and get to our third, we'll get our third one in the next episode. And then we're going to be getting the win one in the episode after that, and then be ending the game. So, like, we're getting there, guys. Like, we're halfway through getting the crystals. We're more than halfway through the game. It's going to be awesome. But with that, folks, we have just gotten our second crystal. And with that, I'd like to say, I'd like to thank you all for watching. I'm the Blind Swordsman. I will see you in the next episode of Let's Play Final Fantasy. Where in the next episode, we're going to be getting our third crystal of the game, and getting preparations to be going to the final crystal of the game. So, take care, everybody, and have a fantastic day. Enjoy me flying. Or not.